Parents of a 1-year-old killed by a suspected DUI driver in City Heights over the weekend speak out what they had to say about their little girl.
Florida is feeling the devastating impact tonight as Hurricane Ian makes landfall as a Category 4 storm.
A local mobile dog groomer under fire from past clients who say they had a horrible experience, so we came to talk to him.
The first Latina-owned and only all-women-operated brewery in San Diego drops a major announcement as we highlight them for this Hispanic Heritage Month.
Before this weekend's honor flight to Washington, D.C., one veteran's gift to 85 others.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
The parents of a 1-year-old girl killed by a suspected drunk driver over the weekend are speaking out tonight after his arraignment was postponed. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Chiquetto. Annalie Rodarte Navarro was outside her grandparents' house in City Heights on Saturday when she was hit. Police say the driver took off but was arrested soon after. Today, several of the girl's family members showed up in court only to be told that the suspect's arraignment was delayed.
CBS 8's Shannon Handy has more.
Margarito Vargas Angeles is under observation, which is why he did not appear in court today. It was disappointing for the little girl's family, who say they wanted him to see just how much she was loved.
We all came down to make sure that he sees all of our faces, because to make sure that this little girl has people who, regardless whether she's alive or dead, are here to protect her and make sure that he got what he deserved.
Karina Rodarte and Jose Navarro are going through the worst pain any parent can experience.
You took a child from us, our child.
This is Anna Lee, more commonly known as Nani. The 19-month-old loved music and dancing. Her favorite movies were Moana and Frozen.
Anna Lee was just a happy baby. She was full of joy. She just, as soon as she enters the room, her little front two teeth, her little sharp teeth in the front just lighten up the room.
On Saturday, Nani was outside her grandparents' home on Redwood Street in City Heights when police say 45-year-old Margarito Vargas Angeles hit her and took off. This video shows what happened when a neighbor followed and then confronted the suspect. He can be heard saying he didn't hit anyone and then drove off again. Officers arrested him a short time later. He was booked on felony DUI, hit and run, murder, and driving on a suspended license.
What kind of human being does that? I just wish the worst for him.
Nani's mom, who was at work when the crash happened, says she still hasn't accepted the fact her youngest daughter is gone. The hardest part, she died in her arms at the hospital.
It's the worst pain, the worst image, the worst thing a mother can ever go through.
A GoFundMe page to help pay for Nani's funeral has been set up. A fundraiser has also been planned for later this week. That information is on our website, cbs8.com. As for Vargas Angeles, his arraignment is now scheduled for Friday.
Just hours ago, Hurricane Ian made landfall in Florida as a Category 4 storm.
There are warnings tonight that the entire state will feel the catastrophic impact of the storm. Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis is tracking Ian and joins us now with the latest. Carlene.
Still talking about a lot of rain when it comes to Ian, but this storm is weakening as it moves at a very slow pace. So as mentioned, it did make landfall, and that was near Fort Myers hours ago. Now we are monitoring this system, and it's a rather extensive one. The impacts stretch about 448 miles when it comes to rain. Also talking about those outer feeder bands that have the stronger cells, so thunderstorm activity. And the reason it's been a slow mover, not really moving too much away from Florida just yet, is because there is a front draped over the state that's kind of locking it more so in place. So as we take a look at the latest update when it does come to Ian, it has weakened. It is now a Category 2 hurricane. It has lost major hurricane strength, but still it is a hurricane as we go into this evening. And I always tell people, do not focus on the strength of it, because impacts are still going to be very significant. You're talking about the potential for tornadoes with some of those stronger feeder bands, and then also talking about strong gusty winds. Storm surge still expected to be with this one, as well as flood concerns with heavy rainfall. Ian is currently about 40 miles to the northeast of Punta Gorda, Florida. and it has weakened a little bit more. So within the past couple of hours, we were talking around the 4 o'clock hour. It still had maximum sustained wind speeds up to about 125 miles per hour. It has come down to about 105, but it's still a slow mover towards the north-northeast at about 8 miles per hour. It does look to be making its way closer towards Orlando and then eventually the Carolinas. We'll go ahead and take a look at the latest forecast cone and, of course, our weather, because we did have some rumbles in the mountains earlier today coming up. Marcella?
Thanks, Carlene. And tonight, American Red Cross volunteers are paying close attention to the impact of Hurricane Ian now that it's made landfall in Florida. Right now, 5 of our local Red Cross volunteers are in the Sunshine State working with other volunteers from across the country. 5 more local volunteers are on standby to help in case they're called. About 13,000 people spent last night in hundreds of American Red Cross shelters and other centers in Florida.
And we are monitoring the devastation in Florida tonight as Hurricane Ian hovers over the state. We will have much more coming up new in our second half hour.
The man who assassinated Robert F. Kennedy more than 50 years ago is asking a judge to reverse a denial of his parole.
This comes after Governor Gavin Newsom denied a parole recommendation for Sirhan Sirhan earlier this year. Sirhan's attorney says her 78-year-old client is no longer a threat. She's filing a writ of habeas corpus claiming that the governor violated state parole. Sirhan is incarcerated at Donovan State Prison in Otay Mesa. Robert F. Kennedy was a Democratic presidential candidate when Sirhan shot and killed him at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles back in 1968.
Here's something you may not know. Anyone with a business license can be a dog groomer and open a grooming business. There's no license, no regulations.
But what if something happens to your pet? CBS 8's Anna Laurel discovered a mobile dog groomer with dozens of online complaints and found out what consumers can do about it. We do want to warn you, some of these pictures may be upsetting.
A picture of this mobile dog grooming van was recently posted to the Nextdoor app. A customer complaining about what they said was a really horrible experience. Well, his post blew up on social media, and people said they recognized this dog groomer and say he's changed the name of this business several times because of such bad reviews. So we came out here to talk to him.
This is Kugel, the golden doodle. So cute, he has his own Instagram page. This is Kugel after his grooming with Tony Choi of the neighborhood dog groomer earlier this month. Kugel's owner, Josh, posted about it and the cuts on his body. I saw Josh's post and discovered a mountain of bad reviews.
I wanted to make sure he wasn't infected.
Norman Ratner took their dog Toodles to the vet after he hired Tony during the pandemic.
Raw skin around his ears and his rectum, the rear end. And the underbelly was just raw. Be a good boy.
He says Toodles was traumatized.
None of it made sense. None of it made sense.
Riki Apple had an almost identical experience with her little Otis.
I opened up his belly, exposed his belly, and then I could really see the scrapes from the razor that he used, and it was on his genitals too.
Little nicks here and there happen.
I called Tony and he agreed to talk to me on camera. He admits he changed the name of his business because of the bad reviews.
My goal is never to injure a dog. That's my #1 safety concern, is safety for the dog. They're wiggly. Some dogs are wiggly, and I sometimes get them too close to their skin.
He said he went to a grooming school in Florida and came back with more experience. According to the San Diego Humane Society, there is no regulatory body that licenses groomers.
Or there's intentional cruelty, going on. We'd have to see evidence of that for us to pursue further. To actually pursue charges.
The only thing you can do, take pictures, file formal complaints with the Humane Society and Consumer Affairs, build a paper trail. Tony tells me the issues he's had are no different than any other in his profession.
It's accidents, minor nicks and stuff. It happens to all groomers.
In San Diego, this is Anna Laurel for CBS 8.
Remember, here at CBS 8, we are working for you. If there's an issue or a concern you'd like us to look into, email workingforyou@cbs8.com.